Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Super Tea Podcast Show. So, I was here, thinking, it's one of my favorite things to do, you know? And I was just thinking about a situation that I experienced, and it was a lot of good. It was a lot of good in the situation. It was a lot of good. Like I really appreciate the good parts. And here, let me break down the situation. Um, there's an individual who needs to heal. I don't know what this individual has been through in their lifetime, but you can visibly see that they have been through particular struggles and challenges. One of them being the challenge that my very own son is triumphing over right now. But I can only speak from the perspective on the outside. I don't know what that is on the inside. And I communicate very openly with my son. He communicates very openly with me, and he has expressed to me in frustration that I just don't know how challenging it is. And I admit it. And I'd be like, yeah, I don't. But I know you can do it. Like, I know you can do it. So just do it. And I know I'm not saying that to be insensitive, but whatever it takes to get it done, like, I know you got that inside of you to get it done. So get it done. This is what other people who have seen people get it done, this is what they're recommending. So I am going to go with the evidence of the success, and I'm going to recommend these things to you. So try it out. If it doesn't work, then you could say I tried that didn't work, but I'm not gonna give up on myself. So that's how I approach this situation with my son, because that's my son. However, I don't approach it with anybody else. I see a lot of people in my community that are being defeated seemingly by that particular issue that this individual that I work with, has either experienced or is experiencing, so that's what that is, right? And so I've tried to initially, I will say initially because of that energy of that particular struggle. I don't like that energy in close proximity of me. And I feel like I am very well in my own right to establish that boundary. We can work together and be effective and be efficient with and communicate, because my ears work well, my eyes work well, everything works well. I can hear you if you are 3 feet away from me. And if it's something that you don't want others to hear, then write it down. Write it down. Put it on. Write it. You could write it with your handwriting. You could type it in an email. You could type it in on a Word document. Write it down. But don't get close to me where you gotta whisper and that. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. So that's what it is. That's how I feel. I'm in my right as a person to feel this way. I'm in my right to say, listen, I don't feel comfortable around your energy. I don't want you in close proximity to me. And that should not be something that offends somebody, because it really has nothing to do with them. It has to do with what's comfortable for me. And I should be able to express my comfortability without a person taking it personal. How could you take it personal? I don't know you personal. So other people are okay and comfortable. That's their business. I'm not. I'm sensitive, people. And I know I am not a little skinny, fragile woman. I know that I'm strong and I know I'm powerful, but that doesn't mean that I'm not sensitive. I'm sensitive. So just keep heal. Please get better. I want to see you get better. I want to see everybody be their best. But while you're doing that, just give me a little bit of space. I need breathing space. That's what I need for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to feel your inner war. I don't want to feel. I don't want to feel that, sir. So I have, I feel, as professionally and as articulately communicated this several times. Also, I'm looking at patterns. I'm looking at behavior. I'm looking at patterns when we are interacting. And if there's an issue with me just speaking, and I'm speaking in the same tone I'm speaking right here, right now, if there's an issue where you feel like you got to get irate and you got to get loud and you got to get defensive, if I'm attacking you and I'm not attacking you, again, I don't know you, I just don't appreciate whatever conflict you're going through to be in close proximity to me. We can still work together. We just have to respect each other's boundaries. So anyway, I even reached out to another colleague and I said, how can I approach this better? Because when I try to talk directly to them, I haven't had a lot of success. And they're like, well, maybe write it down. And I'm like, you're right, girl, let me write it down. Let me create a memo. And I worked on all of this stuff and I presented it to them. And then after I presented it to them, they were not in agreement with it. And there were people, this was for a meeting, there were people coming into the meeting. I had to address the people that's coming in for the meeting. That's part of one of my duties, and holding the position that I currently have. So when I walked off, they caught an attitude about it. Like I wasn't supposed to walk off and greet the people. And then they came after I'm like in the room with the people and asked me to step outside. I stepped outside and I was happy to step outside because the other colleague was right there and the advisor was right there. So I was like, okay, what is it? And they like, no, come over here. Like they wanted to pull me in a room and tell me, you can tell me what you're telling me in front of the advisor. You can tell me what you're telling me in front of this colleague. We are outside of the meeting, so we're not in the meeting with the younger students. What do you want to address with me? So when they tried to pull me into another room, I said no. I don't feel comfortable, and that created a whole issue where thank God the advisor was there, the advisor and also the colleague. They both stepped in and they diffused the situation, and I went on with the day, and I was sitting here pondering, not that, but I had to break all of that down to you to tell you why I was pondering what I was just pondering. Uh, um, which was the advisor. The advisor is a very healthy, from what I have observed, healthy masculine figure, a healthy authoritative figure. So I get that they have to exercise diplomacy in their interactions with people. But what I was pondering is, have they not witnessed what I have witnessed with this individual? Have they not witness that this person has, an inner conflict, and that this, because of this inner conflict that this other individual has, that they could be problematic? Have they not witnessed that? And if they haven't witnessed that, I'm just like, why not? And if they have witnessed it, why haven't they taken steps to either sit with the person, counsel with the person? Perhaps they have sat with them. Perhaps they have counseled them. Maybe they're counseling them as I'm speaking. But it just made me kind of look at them like, are you having an inner conflict too? You handle yourself great. You are a healthy masculine, but just being healthy doesn't mean that you are without conflict. And if you see somebody as problematic as a leader, I guess it's a very gray area. It's a very gray area. But I appreciate the fact that they stepped in, and I'm not focusing on the logic, the complete logic. I'm just being patient and seeing how things proceed, because I did share with the advisor that the reason why we lost members, I don't know the reason why we lost some other members, but I can tell you why we lost members while I was on board. While I was on board, the reason that we lost members was because of the slander that this individual who has this inner conflict with themselves was doing towards me. And people were like, yeah, I'm not gonna work with you, like I'm out, like, you know what I'm saying, like, no, I'm not doing this, you know. So I don't know how the advisor is going to proceed, because in my opinion this person does not need a position of authority, and neither do I. I only, I promise you, I only came in there because of the space itself, because the space is a safe space, or at least as safe. It seems to be one of the safest spaces for me to be my authentic self in. Yes, I have room for growth. Yes, I have my own physical challenges. I have my legs that I'm working on, which requires my attention and my energy and my consistency and my planning and my following through, on top of my studies, on top of maintaining my household, which is a mess right now. But anyway, it's still here, it's here. So I'm grateful to be in here, to feed myself, clothe myself, like these are general things that require my energy. There is, I have a elderly family member that I go check up on, and that's it. That's it. That's it. It was just been me and my son. I'm a divorcee. I'm an only child. I was an orphan when I was younger. I don't have a big network. I'm developing a network now. Like in my 40s, I'm developing a network. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. So I have learned to be hyper vigilant. I have learned to be self dependent. I know that we require people. I found that out through all of my business ventures, that I needed actual people, outside of my customers to make my businesses successful. I get that. I grasp that. But people have to want to be contributing. People have to want to work with you. You can't force people to work with you, and I'm not into manipulating or being inauthentic. If it doesn't feel right, I'm not doing it. Period. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So how I was thinking these things, once I got up from my nap, because I'm just like, I had a very good Saturday, but what I found myself doing on my way in was my thoughts shifting from the goodness of the actual interaction I had um, to another headspace, that I've been in and I've spoken about, and this picture made me chuckle because of how it is depicted. And I know you're like, how is all of this shit connected? It is, it just is all connected, because I notice a lot of things. And what I've been noticing is that there's a particular person who's been hitting the gym. And I noticed they've been hitting the gym because they're getting a little bulkier. And I'm like, oh, they get, and I was like, at first I'm like, am I tripping out? Have they always been this size? And I'm like, no, because I specifically know the size they were when I first met them. And now they are a whole different size. Like their back is backing, like, and I'm just like, who you bulking up for? Like, who you bulking up for? They do things in such a clever way. However, I feel like I need to check myself. I feel like I need to check myself and not allow myself to be, I'm going to use this terminology, lost in their sauce, okay? Because they got some sauce and they have that effect on many other people. So it's like, okay, that's just your vibe. And it's not that vibe. I like that vibe. I act like I don't like that vibe. I like that vibe. We around that vibe every day. Every day. Every day. Compete every day. Just right there. Just right there. Doing just right there. I'm just happy just right there, doing not a goddamn thing, doing things and doing nothing. Both. I like both, But again, other people have the same response. So I'm just like, yeah, it's just what it is. That's just a normal response. You know what I'm saying? Because of perhaps their their authenticity, their genuine wisdom. Like, I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why other people respond to it. I just noticed that other people respond to it the same way. Maybe it's a charm. I don't know. It could be a whole freaking manipulation. I don't know what it is precisely. Time will reveal and time will tell. But what I do know is the back is bulking up, and that is what prompted me to do this particular small vlog. I was going to go into the depth of, I was going to apply all of the logic, to why I should be very cautious. I should be very cautious. I should be very careful, because if this is something that everybody experience, then perhaps that's just the norm, perhaps, you know, just because I, for myself, have my own particular uh, desires. I believe that's the word, but not even desires, standard. I have my own particular standard when it comes to forming a partnership and an intimate partnership. And act like, oh, the business partnership, or, surface. Not saying business partnerships are surface, because they're not. You do have to get pretty intimate with the people you're doing business with, because you want to make sure that your businesses are successful, and that requires a level of intimacy. However, I'm talking about like deep. I'm talking about like to the soul, like to the very soul, like, where there is no secrets. There, like, you see me, all of me, this is who I am. I see all of you. This is who you are. We come into agreement, like, oh, this works. Let's okay. All right. This naturally works. Where okay, we're gonna have to do things, but it works naturally. So the work that we do, it's not gonna be like hard. Like, oh my God, this is so hard. This is so challenging. It may require growth. For me, it may require growth for the other individual. And this is just my perception of a healthy, happy partnership, intimate partnership that's deeper than the surface. It's like, okay, we're not just coming together because we have these great ideas. We do have these great ideas, but that's not the sole purpose. There's more. It fits like a perfect puzzle piece. Like, there's a Bible terminology that says equally yoked, and some people take it out of concept, and they're like, oh, yoked. I don't want to be chained by the neck. No, that's not what it means. It means it just fits. Like, everything fits. You look at a puzzle piece. A puzzle piece is not just, oh, one piece is sticking out and one piece is going invertedly. No, a puzzle has different dimensions and different shapes. And when the puzzle piece fits perfectly, all of the pieces fit in together perfectly. So that's my standard. I want a perfect fit. I don't want a perfect that's what I want, a perfect fit for me. So because I am hyper vigilant, because I am paying attention, because I am who I am, when I see, like, oh, that's nice. It's not like, oh, I'm just looking at one thing. Okay, you look good. No. Like I told the young man today, you got to be more than just look good and have the physical aesthetics. The physical aesthetics are great, but where's your heart at? And I'm looking at that. Like, I noticed how this gentleman today, how he tipped the server, and he didn't have to tip him, and he tipped him in cash, and it was just like, yeah, here, take this. And the guy was like, we're not supposed to accept it. It said right there that I could tip you. Here, take that. That's for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I paid attention to that. I paid attention to how he communicated with people. I paid attention to everything that that young gentleman did today. And I'm always paying attention. So, the point that I'm making outside of the fact that the back is bulking up for of someone that I have been paying attention to, who I've caught paying attention to me too, though. And I'm just like, well, what were you paying attention to me for? Like, come on, and guys, because he's not the first guy, but the young guys said it out loud, and he's not the first guy to say it out loud to me. They're like, well, you're attractive, why are you single? And it's like, because I have these standards, and they're not superficial standards. And some people now who are single and available, they have superficial standards. Not everybody, obviously, but some do. And I'm not going to waste my time on entertaining superficial things. Like, you telling me you got money, you telling me these things is like, okay, where's your heart at? What are you doing with it? What are you doing? Are you doing anything charitable with it? Do you have any things that you're doing that's going to contribute to society in a positive way, or besides just going to work and coming home? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's nice. You can buy me a pocketbook. Nice. You can buy things. Nice. That's nice. I'm not saying that I want a broke motherfucker. It's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, what else? What else are you coming with? You look good and you got money. Okay. All right. You go to the gym. All right. Okay. What's your spirituality like? Oh, you go to church. Okay. Um, we need to have a discussion. We need to have a discussion. I need to see where you at, where you fit in there. Are you underneath somebody else's dogmatic instructions where you do things like that? Or do you have a personal relationship with the divine? Do you have a personal relationship with your higher power? Do you have a personal relationship with your God? Do you have that? Do you have that? Because I have that. I have that. So you got to have that too. I don't care if you go to church. I don't care what's your religion. But some religions, a lot of them put down the women and say, well, the woman is supposed to be subjected to the man. And I'm not looking to be under, behind. I'm looking to be partnered. I'm looking for a good fit. I'm looking for a perfect fit, not even a good fit. I don't want you to almost fit. I want it to fit. I want the spirituality to fit. It doesn't have to be the same. It has to fit, because I'm multilingual spiritually. So I can speak and commune with Muslims. I can speak and commune with Christians. I can speak and commune with Hindu people. I can speak and commune with people who practice voodoo, hoodoo, Yoruba. I can speak and communicate with all various. Like, I am multilingual spiritually, because it's all the same thing. And once you're tapped in, you can grasp and comprehend what another person is saying in their own way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when somebody saying, okay, well, Jesus this and Jesus that. No, I get it, because it depends. You have to listen through your spirit. You can't just listen with your outer ears. You have to listen with your inner ears. What is this person saying? Are they saying that they're just following behind a man that they've never met? No, they're saying that the principles and the concepts of this person agree with the principles that I agree with, and I'm living my life according to these principles that this person lived their life according to. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's not what everybody is saying. But when somebody is saying that, you can recognize that when you're listening through the spirit. So I'm a very complex, beautiful, amazing woman, and I'm just ready for my partnership. And I know I have to be patient, be patient. But I'm gonna be dating, and I'm gonna be open and receptive, because I know that what the divine has for me was part of the divine plan for my life is way better than I can even imagine. And I got to see proof of that just through this experience. And so I'm just open to other new experiences where it's like, oh, I just thought, like, where's the masculine men at? And boom, I end up sitting across from one that fell asleep last night on the train and never made it home, but end up waking up and being just a perfect gentleman, speaking properly and in caring and tipping their the server of a fast, well, not even a fast food chain because it's not fast food, but of a franchised restaurant. Like this person didn't even come and bring the food to the table. Like we had to go get our own food and bring it to the register. This person was just at the register. I think the most they did was make my coffee, but that was it. That was it. So it's like, okay, you see the value of people. Okay, cool. Okay, universe, thank you for this experience. So anyway, this all started from me just seeing this and like, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna do a vlog about this. I'm gonna do a broadcast about this because people need to know. They're broadcasting all this other stuff. Oh, this hate and all of this and all of that. But there's a lot of love that's going on. And love is not an emotion. It is an energy, and it is the most powerful energy in the freaking universe. And I really feel that's why I'm able to connect with folks because they feel that. Like, they can feel like, Miss Bay, Miss Bay don't want shit. I'm not saying I don't want shit at all, okay? I have desires, obviously. I just stated them, right? But I'm not looking like, what can you do? What you got? What you got? What you got? I'm just like, oh, who are you? Oh, cool. This is me. And that's it. That's the best way I could describe how I approach everybody. And I really just authentically connect with folks. And it is what it is. And I do have spiritual gifts, and they're growing. Those things are growing, and I'm not even like intentionally trying to grow those things. I'm not trying to grow those things. I Part of the reason why I still even eat meat is because I'm a little skeptical, like what will happen if I stop. Because like the growth of my, and I know I do need the protein and things for my muscles that I'm building up, but like my gifts, people, we just had a sister join the ancestors, Asada. I'm looking at her picture right now. She's on, I have an altar of ancestors that I admire. Some of my ancestors that I never met, but I still pay homage to them and respect to them. um, uh, and some are people that I learned about after they have already left. Um, you even have a European lady up there, Louise Hay. Louise Hay is on my altar. Yes, she is, because she made some amazing contributions to humanity, and she's up there. Asada is up there. Her picture is right over my maternal grandmother's picture, right? I need a bigger space. But right now, this is what I got. I'm making the most of it. Eventually I will probably have a room for them. But anyway, right here, right now, let's be present. And then yesterday I get a message from an elder that's like, oh, you know, she's she just um she just joined the ancestors. I put this picture up there last week because I thought she was already there, and in my spirit she was already there. And I didn't physically meet her. I have never physically met her. I literally was just cleaning up new moon equinox, and I put it up there. And for me to get a text message yesterday like, oh, she just joined, and I'm like, she just joined? This lady right here? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, what's going on? My abilities. Like, what's going on? My abilities. My abilities are strengthening people, but I still, when you have these different gifts and you're not really don't know like really how they work. You know they work, but you don't know how they work. Like, oh, I just have to continue growing and continue being me. But I'm comfortable with me, and we'll see how things unfold. But I had a wonderful day, a wonderful Saturday, a wonderful day, and I'm grateful for everything that I have, and I'm grateful for who I am, and grateful for the people in my life, and for the healthy masculine men. I'm grateful for you all of y'all, no matter what, like friends, business partners, advisor, uh, teachers, like whatever your role is in my life. I welcome you all, and I appreciate you all, and I value and I honor you all. And I know that eventually, eventually, the the piece of the puzzle that fits with my piece of the puzzle, eventually that is a reality, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'll have, my masculine men, my healthy masculine men, to bring this person around and be like, hey, check this person out. What you think about this person? You think they cool? You think they cool? Advise me, Unc. Let me stop. I'm wrong for that. Advise me, Unc. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Advise me, Unc. What you think? What you think about this, Unc? Cause you so wise, and you such a healthy mess. I would go now, cause now I want to act up. I'm gonna get off of here. Thank you for tuning in to the Super T Podcast Show. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we can continue to dive into Seed of the Soul. Have a good day and night.